Good evening, guys. Welcome back to Digital Graphic Design Training. I believe we're doing great today. Right now, I want to teach you how you can make a very business flyer on your Android smartphone using your PSCC. We are not using PixelLab at this juncture. We are going to back to the PixelLab at the end of the day, but we need some of blendings that we want to use so that we'll make this cool. So the first thing we need to do is to go to our PSCC Photoshop CC 219. I will drop the link at the description of this video for the application and the resources. And these are the amazing design I done on this. If you are doubting, you see I did the blending here, then I finished the whole work. You can see. So you can done a lot of amazing things here. You can see. So you can do your blending since PixelLab is not supporting anything blending, so you can do it and finish the work here. So now this is the interface. The first thing we need to do is to tap here. So when you tap on this plus sign, it means you are adding, you want to create a document. So what we're going to do next is to tap. I want to use the background directly. Click from photo library, click on photo, then you come into where you have all your background and all that. Let's take it for instance, I want to just bring this one in. So bring it in. This is the background I want to use. You understand? So after that, click on this plus sign. When you click here, then you tap on plus. Click on photo layer, click on photo library, then you are going to import again. So I want to place this on top it. Since it's the same thing, you can click on mark. So the next thing I want to do is that I want to change just the background. So what I want to do, you can see there is a table here. So I want to remove that table. How can I do that? So there are several ways of you can do that. I can use blending, I can use cutout. So you can just alight on it just as perfect as this. When you alight, you set it properly so that you use it to cut it out. So I will come here and I will cut it. So I will come down just as this, cut it. So I will make sure that I apply the same process all through. So cut it out, then we cut this. Then you can see I have my table ready. So now that I have my table, just tap the empty area, then this is good to go, and that is what brought us here. I can use a PixelLab as well, but it won't be as perfect as this and other things I'm going to be doing here. So after that, tap here, repeat the same process the way we import our elements. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So the first thing is to bring in the shadow. You can see, then we tap OK, then we'll go back to our phone gallery where I'm going to bring other elements like this chicken. So after bringing the chicken, position it there. You might be thinking why everything fits in. I done something behind the screen. Make sure that everything was set to be square size so that at least it can go along with the backgrounds. So now I have every template, everything is already done. So what am I going to do next? I want to add some effort to the one at the bottom. That is the essence of coming here. So I'm blending some things. So I'm heading back to the gallery. So when I get to my gallery, I will go back here, then tap this. Now you will see what I want to do. So I will bring in this one here by rotating it, as you can see. So we have a rotation icon here. So when you rotate it, you'll be able to have this result. Now that I have this result, what can I do next? You see, I've covered everything. The next thing I'm going to do is to tap on this hand sign. This is something that looks like hand. And then you click on fade. So when you click on fade, you see varieties of how you can fade it. Then I want to click on the one that will come down. So I'm going to tap here. So when I tap here, or I will type on the one that face up. You understand? Tap on the one that face up, or I rotate everything. So let's tap here. Then I'm going to rotate. So when I rotate, I will have this. You understand? You can see. So this is what I want to do. I don't want it to cover the table. So what I want to do, I want it to cover this bottom. So I want you to have a kind of a touch for this. PixelLab cannot do that. So because it's not done, there's nothing like blending there. So and I need something that can do the work for me, so I have to make use of it. And you can say, is this not amazing? So amazing, right? So now that we're able to do that, there is much more to do. There is much more to do. And how can I do that? I need to quickly go back to my PixelLab. That's why I said we're going to be making use of the PixelLab as well. So coming here to my PixelLab, because when I save it from there, I won't be able to do that. So now after that has been done, I will go to the color, then have the color change just as this. Then I can make it to be a little bit lighter. So just scroll it down here. Then after that has been done, then the next thing we can do is to, because we have all our table to be this, so the next thing we can do is to we look at it very well, we see whether we can just do a kind of adjustment to that, or we change the color to something like so let's change the color to something like black, so the black will be able to work. Okay, so let's look at it, change this color to black, sorry, then we'll copy, then we'll go here, your radius should be, sorry, your opacity 0, then we have our stroke, so we can increase the size a little bit to see how it look. Okay, perfect. Then position it to the center. So now we have our result here. So what we need to do next is to merge the two together. So after merging it, we are going to reduce the size a little bit. Now we are going to save with a transparent background, as you can see. So after saving it, we are going back to here. So now we are going to import it following the same process. So after that, heading back to our PixelLab, then we have this particular result. So now that we have the result, you can see everything is actually plumb. So I'm going to do a kind of adjustment, because this one work with grid, so I can reduce the size if I want, but I will make sure that everything is actually plumb. So I believe it's okay small like this. So you take your time to adjust it, because it's actually work with grid. So this shouldn't cover much. Okay, so after that has been done, we click OK. You can see it has covered, but we can move it down here. You can see, right? So if we discover that this thing is a little bit big, so we can back. So that is another amazing things here. So when you back, you are going to replace it, because one thing is that it can't be movable immediately you click OK. You can't be moving it again, unlike the PixelLab. So you can't be moving it. That's why you need to extraordinary careful before you make your final decision. So now we are done, and I guess it is okay, perfect like this. So now that we have this, it has been done, then the next thing we can do is to save. How do we save? A lot of people find it difficult. You see, we are saving. You haven't saved. You are saving on this application, not the gallery. If you want to save to the gallery, you see this arrow that is facing right. You tap on it. It means you want to save. Save to gallery. Change it. We type PNG. Tap what you want to save and click OK. So now once it's saved, you can see it already move automatically to our gallery. Now we have the result. Have this one deleted. Select what you just saved as a kind of background. You can see this is what I just did. So now that I have this, the next thing I'm going to do is to put in all my write-up. So before that, I'm going here, bringing something like a logo here. I'm going to use a logo, so I will lock that. Then we head into our write-up. So we have James restaurants. So as you can see, so we go in here into the font area, then we use Marguerite. We have a Marguerite font, that is what we want to use. So we go to the padding, then we enable it for us to be able to see it. So, or we can change the write-up to Saint. So we have Saint, Okay, perfect. So when we have a saint, then everything is going to change here because we are going to change it to change the color. So we have something like this. Then we're heading back to the color area and we change it to black. So now we have the saint. We can reduce the size a bit. So we have the saint. Then we copy. We have saint what? Saint restaurant. Okay, restaurant. Perfect. So now we have saint restaurant. So which is going to be around here, or we position this here while we have the saint to be around there. So we can have this move up a little bit so that it won't be disturbed. Okay, perfect. Then after that, the next thing we can do is to we'll have this one lock while we have this reposition. So we can position this to the center. So after that, we have this one rotated back, so which we can position around here. Or better still, we can rotate a little bit. Okay, so after rotation, this can be around there. After reduction, so we can have this. It can be increased a little bit. So let's say we have this. So we have Saint restaurants, and if it doesn't work, we can have it change. Okay, sorry please. So we can have something like a paw. Sorry please. Think I have to let me get right with that first. So we can have this change because of the, so let's say we have Paul's restaurants. So that will be here. Then we increase the size a little bit. Then we change this to restaurant. Okay, and the hex will be affected. So now that we have that, we need to increase this. It has to be around here. Increase a little bit. Okay. Okay, so now that we have that increase, we can bring it down a bit. So we have these which need to be rotated a little bit too. So we increase the size a bit, and we'll have that one lock, and we'll position this around there. So let's enter a little bit. So after entering, we'll position it around there. Okay, perfect. So now the next thing we need to do after making that work, so we need to adjust a little bit, just as perfect as this, or better still, we might not even make it touch each other. So let it be separate. Okay, perfect. So we can bring it down a bit. Let it down a bit. So we have pulse restaurant. Okay, so good. So the next thing we need to do next is to, we have this change. So let's look at it, whether the color can be changed a bit. Okay. Make it more deeper by choosing a color from here. So fine. So this should be changed as well. Okay, cool. So now that we have everything, or better still, we can, so let's do something. Okay, Okay, perfect. So the next thing is to go here, then we have combo offer. So we have combo offer where we have something like intro regular. So let's use a font called intro regular. So guess that will be okay. So using an intro regular, we reduce the size, position it to the center, and we close it a bit. So now that should be positioned around there, but we're going to change the size a bit. Copy. So after that, we need to just make this one big a little bit, position it around here. Okay, so this needs to be adjusted a bit. Okay, so after that we can have the color change anyway. So let's take it for instance, we have this one changed, then we have our uli. So we have uli which need to carry the same thing. Okay, perfect. So now we can copy everything. Okay, very cool. So now we go back to the shape area where we are going to have this. After having it, increase it a bit, drag it to come down, then we position it around here, change the color. Okay, perfect. Then we have copy any of the right up here. So like we have order now. So after that, we go back to the color, change the color to something like white, and you patiently position it around here. After that has been done, we can do a kind of adjustment to this by making sure that we have this position like this. We'll go back to our gallery and bring this one in. So after bringing it in, we can be able to change the color while we lock it as well. Change the color to make it visible. Okay, after changing the color, we can move both the restaurants and the pole. We can move it up to be in line with this, so it will enter it just as perfect as this. So now it will work exactly the way it should be. Okay, and this is the next thing we need to do to make everything work. We can say home delivery available, so we can add this to make it work. Home delivery available, then we have it rotated. So when you rotate it, you look at the perfect area to position it. So if you put it where, it's going to work. So we position, then we change the color to something like black. So now it work, right? Or we bring it to this side. So we can adjust and change the color. So after that, we can look at the better font which we can use. Guess black will be the best. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So now we're done with everything and we can see how this working now. And this is just a simple trick. So now we can come up with restaurant flyer on our Android smartphone using our PSCC and the PixelLab. So the essence of using that is because of blending, and you can see that everything is actually work. So if we want to continue further putting much effort into this to make it look awesome, there are things we can still do, and that is what I'm going to show you. So after it's saved, so the next thing is to heading back to this area. So we are going to import it back again. The essence of this thing, we import it back. So when we import it back, we are going to put a finishing touch to this. So not this. So what I'm saying, that we are going back to bring this one in. So after that, we go in here and bring this overlay. Okay, after bringing the overlay, so we are going to just make sure that everything actually plumb on it. Okay, so we click OK. So the next thing we need to do is to click an overlay. Then you can see, how do we set it? Very cool, right? So really cool. So we can go further by reducing the size, the opacity, so that it won't be too much. So now we have our design, we have everything work well. So thanks for watching. I believe we'll learn something from here. So we can tap on save. Okay, so now we move it back to our gallery with PNG. Okay, then we are going to view it and see how it look. So let's go back, view it and see how it look. And this is the work. You can see this is the work, the one we actually blended, the one that we haven't done anything on PixelLab, the one we later blending. So you can see the work, right? So I believe we'll learn something from here. Thanks for watching. God bless you.